Between June 23rd and 30, something magical but real is unfolding. Not merely a calendar shift, but a cosmic handover of energy that prepares the world for an entirely new beginning. The Arcturian Council describes this as a precise, structural event within Earth's grid and within us. You might have already felt it as a gentle tremor underfoot or a quiet shift in your mood. It's subtle, yet undeniable. A shift that challenges old patterns and aligns with deeper truth. As we enter this window, your life is about to encounter a frequency none of us could have seen coming. Why the last 7 days of June are not ordinary. What if those last days of June are more than just calendar dates? What if they're a door, an intentional window designed to usher in something new? You might feel restless or strangely energized. That's the universe nudging you toward change. Older hearts often notice when familiar rhythms begin to feel off-key. A routine you once loved suddenly feels hollow. That's because you are sensing the energy of transition, your soul searching for new resonance. During this time, daily routines may feel strangely urgent or slow. Maybe chores take longer and feel heavier. Why? Because your system is recalibrating, adjusting to frequencies different than what you've lived in. You may find yourself revisiting old thoughts or renewing old habits you thought you'd left behind. Those echoes aren't regression, they're messages. They tell you what needs release and what's ready to rise. Soon, you will see a shift, a moment when something clicks inside. It will feel like the world paused and resumed on a higher frequency. And that shift will be just the beginning. The energetic handover. What's actually transferring? Imagine energy as water in a river, graceful, flowing, alive. In the final week of June, that river's current changes direction. What is transferring? Not stress, but codes, vibrational instructions that shape our inner world. Think of your heart as a sacred storage warehouse. The handover fills it with light-coded water, fresh, living energy. What remains are the seeds of your next chapter. These aren't words, they're frequencies your soul understands. You may notice emotions shifting, joy rising without cause, or a gentle peace you haven't felt in years. These aren't random. They're echoes of what's landing inside you, overlaying patterns you outgrew. Some will feel this through heightened intuition, knowing things you can't explain. Others feel it through rest, a deep need to slow while internal wiring adjusts. That slowness is sacred. It means you're receiving. By July, those currents will guide your inner compass. And while the waters may settle quietly, what they carry will forever change how you live, from the inside out. June's end marks the close of a galactic cycle. Certain dates carry more than local meaning. They resonate with galactic timing. June's last week marks the close of a cycle that began generations ago. It's like an astronomical bow being tied before a ribbon is cut. You may have glimpsed this in dreams, seeing numbers, symbols, or people you don't remember. These glimpses are reminders of cosmic rhythms beyond this life. Time, as you know it, is shifting. For elders, this closing can feel both sweet and bittersweet, a sense of ending long before it begins. You may release long-held expectations as quietly as a candle's flame going out in sunrise. This cycle's end offers closure, not as an ending, but as a promise. Old stories, roles, and limitations can now be laid down. Something more expansive waits on the other side. By the time July arrives, you'll realize whatever felt heavy this last week was meant to be released. And what you carry forward? That will define everything yet to come. Your body already feels the incoming July codes. Have you noticed subtle aches, or an inner vibration you can't place, your body isn't reacting, it's receiving. It knows that July's codes are on the horizon. It's preparing to open new channels of strength and clarity. Elders often feel this as deeper rest or sudden aches in places that were once pain-free. What we dismiss as wear and tear is often our body integrating new energy. Some report better digestion, sharper memory, or a gentle lift in mood without medication or therapy. That's the physical echo of light codes settling into cells that have waited decades to remember. You might find yourself craving more water, herbs, or shade. These are subtle clues to help your body flow with incoming energy. So listen to your body. It's speaking louder than words. By midweek, your subtle physical discomfort may transform into a deep ease. Your body will feel like it's changing from the inside out, a prelude to the new world arriving in July. This is not a reset, it's a rewiring. A reset wipes the slate clean. A rewiring uses what's already there, but reroutes it toward new paths. That's what this energetic handover is doing. It's not erasing your history, it's recharging it. You may think, I feel like I'm starting over, but you're not starting from zero. You're getting upgraded. Your past becomes the foundation, not the limit. That's a powerful shift. Some report feeling like life is speeding up. Days go faster, thoughts come quicker. That's your internal operating system rebooting. It will feel unnatural at first, and that's okay. Imagine old wiring in your home suddenly replaced. The outlets are the same, but now they hold more current. Your inner circuits are being upgraded. You may not see the process, but you'll feel the clarity. And when July arrives, you'll realize this wasn't about starting over. It was about stepping into a version of you that was always possible. The real question now, will you let that rewiring guide your next chapter? As the last wires of June complete their shift, something begins to hum inside, a signal that points to deeper truth. In the next part, we'll discover what that hum is trying to tell you, and why July will never be the same. The pulse beneath your skin is changing. There are times when your body feels like it's telling a secret. In this energetic window, many are sensing a new pulse, subtle yet powerful, like a second rhythm playing quietly beneath the heartbeat. This isn't medical, it's energetic. The frequency of the earth is syncing with the rhythm of the human body, and for those sensitive enough, the signal is unmistakable. You may feel tingles in your spine, or a sensation of heat that has no physical cause. It might come as a shiver when you're calm, or a wave of stillness during rest. These aren't signs of weakness, they're signs of alignment. Your nervous system is gently rewiring, not because something is wrong, but because something is finally becoming right. Seniors may notice this more clearly than the young. Why? Because with age comes stillness, and stillness allows the body to notice what noise used to drown out. The new pulse is not just physical, it is spiritual. It flows beneath the skin, into the bones, whispering, "You're ready," in a language older than speech. Some might confuse it with anxiety, but this isn't fear, it's a preparation. The body is gathering light, fortifying itself to walk through the months ahead with more strength than it knew it had. You're not unraveling, you're unfolding, softly, but with cosmic precision. When the pulse changes, perception changes too. That's when you begin to see the world a little differently, hear things you used to ignore, and feel like life has something more for you to step into. That's no illusion. That's evolution in real time. Arcturian message: the grid beneath your feet is shifting. Imagine walking across the same ground you've always known, and suddenly realizing it's alive. That's what this shift feels like. The Earth's grid, the unseen energetic web beneath our feet, is adjusting. You may feel slightly off balance, not because you're unwell, but because the floor beneath your energy is reshaping itself. The Arcturian Council shares that this shift is not dangerous, but delicate. Earth is restitching its connection points to cosmic energy, opening gates, releasing pressure, and allowing higher light to anchor through human lives. This process will not be televised or announced. It will be felt in the stillness between breaths. You may walk into a room and suddenly feel dizzy. You may touch the ground and feel a warm thrum, like a heartbeat buried deep. These moments are real. Your body is picking up signals from a changing planetary frequency. You're not disconnected. You're tuning in. Some elders report hearing high-pitched tones, especially at night. Others feel sudden emotional releases without knowing why. These are echoes from the shifting grid. Earth is shedding an outdated skin, and with it, releasing frequencies we no longer need. In return, she offers a cleaner, clearer signal to those listening. Once the grid settles, you'll notice life feels more navigable, even amidst global change. Like walking a trail that suddenly becomes smoother. That's because you're now walking with the Earth's new rhythm, not against it. Spiritual clarity will replace mental noise in July. For so many, mental noise has become a constant companion, endless thoughts, worries, doubts. But as the energy hands over into July, that mental clutter begins to fade. Not instantly, but gradually, like fog lifting after years of obscured vision. And what replaces it? Not silence, clarity. You'll start recognizing the difference between thoughts that drain and thoughts that guide. One will feel heavy, like static. The other, light, like a quiet bell inside your chest. This clarity doesn't come through effort. It comes when the frequency around you allows your spirit to breathe again. Older viewers may feel this shift as a sudden sense of knowing, without overthinking. Decisions you once struggled with may feel strangely obvious. It's not coincidence. It's your higher consciousness stepping forward now that the interference has finally softened. Clarity often begins as stillness. You may notice it in prayer, in nature, or in the quiet moments before sleep. A voice, not loud, but deeply familiar, may whisper truth you'd forgotten. That's not imagination. That's spiritual memory resurfacing. And as mental noise quiets, you'll find yourself more at peace. Not because life is perfect, but because your connection to what truly matters will grow stronger than your fears. Relationships will shift with new frequency patterns. As the Earth's frequency changes, so do the unseen threads that connect us to others. You may find yourself feeling more distance from people you've known for years, or surprisingly, drawn closer to someone who used to feel far away. Relationships in this phase become mirrors of our energetic alignment. It's important to know this isn't rejection, it's resonance. Just as radio stations must match frequencies to tune in, so too must human hearts in this new cycle. If someone drifts, it doesn't mean love is lost. It means your paths are diverging, peacefully, as part of evolution. Many elders may feel a shift in long-held connections. Children, siblings, old friends. Emotional roles may reverse. Dependence may soften into respect. Tension may dissolve into silence. Let it. These transitions are sacred, and they're happening everywhere now. You may also discover new bonds, people who seem to enter your life at just the right moment, with words that feel like home. These aren't random. These are energetic alignments forming under the new light. Relationships born under this new wave will carry the energy of purpose, not obligation. They won't ask you to be someone you're not. Instead, they will remind you who you've always been. The old timeline is now closing, gently but firmly. If it feels like your old life is wrapping up, you're not imagining it. This final phase of June marks the closure of a timeline many have walked for decades. It doesn't disappear violently. It fades like a final sunset, golden and firm. You're not being pushed away. You're being invited forward. This old timeline includes patterns, beliefs, roles, and even identities that no longer serve your evolution. What once gave you comfort may now feel like a costume. That discomfort is not failure. It's the signal that your soul is outgrowing what no longer fits. Letting go at this stage is not about forgetting. It's about honoring. You thank the journey, bless the path, and then lay it down so your hands are free to hold what's next. That's real closure, not abandonment, but sacred release. Seniors may notice this as a shift in how they view their own stories. Regrets may soften. Achievements may feel less important than peace. It's not loss, it's realignment. You're preparing for a higher path, lighter, clearer, and finally free of old burdens. And with that closing, you'll feel a new space open inside you, a space that feels like air after a storm. And what fills that space will become the foundation of your life in July. As the old timeline quietly bows out, something new stands just outside your awareness, waiting to be seen. In the next chapters, we'll explore how Earth herself is preparing for this shift, and how your DNA, your dreams, and your very perception of time are about to transform. Earth is receiving new light from the galactic core. There's something happening far beyond the sky we see, at the heart of our galaxy, where an ancient light has stirred once more. Scientists speak of high-energy bursts, but those who feel with their soul describe it differently. As a warmth that descends without source, a brightness that doesn't burn but awakens. This is not fantasy. This is cosmic timing. The galactic core, often unseen and unspoken, is the birthplace of divine codes, energetic instructions older than time. When Earth tilts into alignment with this core, a pulse is sent through her body and into ours. That pulse doesn't just change energy, it calls forward memory, healing, and the reactivation of purpose. You may feel it as sudden moments of clarity, even in dreams. Or perhaps you've noticed your intuition sharpening like never before. The decisions you once second-guessed now feel obvious. That's not your brain getting smarter. That's your soul remembering what it came here to do, and the galactic light is helping you remember. Older souls tend to respond to this light faster because they've walked the earth through many cycles. They hold imprints in their spiritual DNA, and when this cosmic light arrives, it reawakens those sacred truths. You might recall emotions, places, or even lifetimes you never consciously lived, because your soul did. This light from the galactic core is not a flood, it's a key. It doesn't force anything open, it gently unlocks. And only those ready to feel, to pause, and to trust will begin to experience its full effects. It's subtle, but once you notice it, it changes everything you thought you knew about what light really is. In the coming days, this light will increase, not in brightness, but in depth. It will reach into places within you that have long waited for warmth. And when it does, don't be surprised if your tears come, not from pain, but from recognition. July will birth a different kind of time. Time is not just measured by clocks or calendars. It's also measured by how we feel inside. And lately, many have noticed that something about time is off. Days either stretch endlessly or vanish in the blink of an eye. This isn't forgetfulness. This is a shift in temporal frequency. July will feel like another dimension of time altogether. When we speak of energetic handovers, we're not just referring to planetary shifts. We're talking about how time itself is moving to a higher octave. You may begin to feel like you're operating in two realities, one where things move fast and one where silence slows everything down, and both are true. Older viewers may find this oddly comforting. Why? Because with age often comes wisdom that time isn't real, it's felt. In July, many will begin to feel the future calling to them, not with fear, but with familiarity. You'll begin sensing what's coming before it happens. Not as a guess, but as a certainty in the bones. You may start remembering events before they arrive, sensing people before they call, or realizing that something you said last week was meant for today. This isn't confusion, it's the soul stepping out of linear time. It's not a loss of logic, it's the opening of spiritual sight. If this sounds strange, that's okay. You don't have to understand time's mechanics to feel its shift. All you need is presence. Because as July opens, those who slow down will actually move faster, emotionally, spiritually, and energetically. It's a paradox, but one that makes sense once you surrender the need to control the clock. In this new time stream, you won't be late or early. You'll be aligned, and from that alignment, you'll notice peace flowing into spaces where there used to be pressure. That's the miracle July brings. Your DNA is preparing to hold more light. It's not just your heart and mind going through change. Your very cells are being rewritten. As Earth receives new frequencies, so too does the human body, especially in its most sacred architecture, the DNA. While science sees DNA as fixed, the cosmos knows it as fluid, responsive to light, emotion, and intention. In this final week of June, your DNA is preparing, not through strain, but through subtle invitation. This isn't about growing new arms or seeing visions. It's about remembering that your body was always meant to carry higher consciousness, and that remembering is activating dormant codes. You may feel fatigue that sleep doesn't fix, or aches in places you can't explain. These aren't ailments, they're adjustments. Like a radio retuning to a higher station, your body is vibrating between frequencies, making room for more awareness, more intuition, and more grace. This upgrade isn't loud, it's quiet. It whispers during meditation, it hums in stillness. And those with decades of life experience may feel it as a soft empowerment, a return to vitality, not through youth, but through energetic clarity. The body is not failing, it's evolving. You may also crave different foods, prefer silence over noise, or suddenly feel the urge to stretch, move, or even cry. Honor it all. These are responses to inner light increasing. Your system is releasing the old scaffolding to make way for something beautifully refined. And when the light fully settles in your DNA, you'll begin to feel more connected, not just to yourself, but to the earth, to the sky, and to the divine intelligence guiding this entire transition. Ancient memory is being restored in dreams. Lately, dreams have felt more intense, sometimes vivid, sometimes cryptic, and yet they linger in the body long after you've opened your eyes. That's not just imagination. That's memory being restored from the soul's deeper vaults. The energetic shift of this week is activating timelines you've walked before, in bodies you may not remember. These aren't just symbolic dreams, they're downloads, and they come now because the energy around Earth is stable enough to hold them. You're not being shown these memories to relive the past, but to retrieve wisdom you once had and now need again. Seniors especially may find these dreams eerily familiar. A place you've never been might feel like home. A stranger in your dream may look into your eyes and call you by a name you've never heard, but that name makes your chest ache. These moments are not fiction, they're sacred truth resurfacing. You might also receive dreams that feel like warnings, not of doom, but of direction. These messages often carry subtle nudges, encouraging you to take a path, make a call, or trust your own inner pull. They won't always make sense in the moment, but they always carry purpose. Even if you forget them upon waking, something in your subconscious remembers. A shift occurs in your daily life that seems unrelated, but deep down, you'll feel the thread. These dream visitations are part of the larger restoration happening in this handover window. And as July begins, these dreams will become clearer, more guiding, more alive. Because your soul is no longer content sleeping while awake. It's waking up, and your dreams are the doorway. New sacred sites are awakening across Earth. As energy flows through Earth's new grid, forgotten places begin to stir. These aren't always visible on maps, but their resonance is felt in the land. Sacred sites, both known and hidden, are coming alive. Not because humans discovered them, but because the Earth herself is calling them forth again. In this final phase of June, you may feel drawn to certain locations for no logical reason. A garden, a mountain, a simple tree. These are not random attractions. These are living portals, soft spots in Earth's skin, where the veil between dimensions grows thin. You don't need to travel far. Sometimes your own backyard holds energy once buried. A patch of grass may feel warmer. A wind may whisper where it never used to. These are signs that Gaia's heartbeat is amplifying, calling those ready to remember their connection to the land. Seniors who've spent a lifetime walking the earth often have a built-in sense of these places. You've stood on them unknowingly before, on vacation, during a childhood memory, even in daily walks. Now, as the frequency rises, those old places call again, but this time you'll feel them differently. These sacred spots aren't for rituals or ceremonies alone. They are for restoration. Simply being there can align your body and soul to the new stream. Rest against a tree. Sit by the river. Let the earth reintroduce herself, not as ground, but as a guide. Because in July, these sacred zones will become amplifiers. What you feel there, what you think there, will ripple through your entire energy field. And the earth is ready to meet you halfway. If Earth is calling, what is she asking you to prepare for? In the final chapters ahead, we'll uncover how silence becomes power, how July opens celestial doors, and what the Arcturian message truly reveals about the weeks that follow. Silence is becoming Earth's new language. In this shifting age, silence is no longer emptiness, it's communication. Have you noticed that words feel heavier lately? That loud spaces tire you more quickly and quiet moments feel magnetic? This isn't coincidence. As Earth changes frequency, she speaks less through chaos and more through stillness. Silence is no longer the absence of sound. It's the presence of alignment. Seniors especially may find comfort here. The noise of life, the constant rush, opinion, and outer focus no longer holds the same pull. Instead, soft environments become nourishing. You may feel a calling to retreat into gardens, to turn off the news, or to simply sit and breathe. These impulses are not laziness. They are wisdom resurfacing. Silence in this phase is like a tuning fork. When we drop into it, our inner field starts to resonate more cleanly with Earth's new rhythm. You might notice fewer inner arguments, less need to explain yourself, and more appreciation for simplicity. This is not detachment, it's restoration. Even conversations are changing. People are speaking slower, choosing their words with more care. Silence in between becomes meaningful, not awkward. You begin to feel when someone is present without speaking, and when someone's words are noise, even if they're loud. It's a soft evolution in perception. There's also another layer. Messages come now through silence. You may receive answers not in dreams or visions, but in a quiet moment while washing dishes or walking alone. These messages are not sentences, they're knowings. They land in the heart and ripple outward. Some seniors report hearing high-pitched tones during silence, especially before sleep or after waking. These aren't medical anomalies for most, they're energetic downloads, like earth humming in your ear, reminding you you're still part of this unfolding plan. And as we cross into July, silence will be the bridge between what was and what's coming. Those who can rest in it will hear things no noise could ever teach. It's not just a pause, it's an invitation. July will open the celestial doorways. Every year has its peaks, but not every year has a doorway. July 2025 is not just a new month, it's a threshold. The final days of June are preparing the field, clearing the noise and calibrating the soul. But July is when the next level of human potential becomes reachable, like stars lowering just enough for us to touch. What does it mean for a celestial doorway to open? It means access. Suddenly, energies that were once hidden or locked away behind dimensional veils become available. Ideas flow faster, healings happen deeper, choices feel clearer. It's like stepping into a room you've always sensed but never entered, until now. Older hearts will especially feel this invitation. There's a sacred recognition here, as if the body remembers this pattern from long ago. The last time this kind of doorway opened, you were likely much younger, perhaps even in another lifetime. And yet now, with more wisdom, you're better prepared to walk through it. These doorways aren't physical, but they leave fingerprints in the sky and your spirit. You might notice sudden waves of joy, deep inner peace, or bursts of creative ideas. You may even receive spontaneous forgiveness for things you didn't know you were still holding. These are all signs of alignment with the celestial opening. Not all doorways look divine. Some appear as challenges, sudden endings, relationship shifts, health choices. But beneath every shake-up is an opening. The universe rearranges you not to confuse you, but to position you exactly where your light will grow. If July surprises you, it's not to punish, it's to initiate. You don't need to chase these doorways. They come to you when you're ready. Just watch the skies, listen to your body, trust your peace. That's how you recognize the arrival. And once you walk through, you'll feel the past fall away. Not forgotten, but transmuted, and what lies beyond. That's what the Arcturian message hints at most powerfully. Because beyond the doorway is not just healing, it's remembering why you came. The Arcturian transmission has been received. The message wasn't a shout, it was a whisper. The Arcturian Council, watchers of time and stewards of ascension, have sent out an energetic wave, not in words, but in resonance. Sensitive hearts and souls around the world have begun feeling it. If you've sensed a sudden stillness in your chest or a tear without reason, the transmission is working through you. This isn't a prophecy of destruction, it's a preparation for alignment. The message contains 3 main codes: peace, positioning, and power. Peace, because the world will shift more easily if hearts are calm. Positioning, because those who listen will be nudged to where they're needed. Power, because this phase will ask for our courage, not to fight, but to hold light. The elders among us are the greatest recipients of this wave, not because of belief, but because of resonance. Your frequency has matured. Your soul has seen cycles. The transmission recognizes that. It honors that. And it carries energy that will restore vitality, not in the body alone, but in your purpose. You may notice that you're waking up earlier, feeling surges of focus or insight during simple tasks, or feeling called to speak truths you've long hidden. These are signs the Arcturian codes are syncing with your field. You're not being pushed, you're being fine-tuned, so the instrument of your soul can play its clearest music yet. The energy also brings clarity. Relationships that were foggy now reveal their meaning. Paths that once felt blocked begin to glow. It's not magic, it's remembrance. The Arcturian message activates not new teachings, but the old ones you buried when the world got too loud. This is your invitation not just to watch the earth transform, but to participate. To be the kind of soul that radiates steadiness, grace, and unshakable faith when others forget theirs. You are not being asked to be louder, just more you. And as July opens and the doorway widens, the Arcturian signal will strengthen, not to control you, but to remind you, you've always been part of something greater.